consciously deciding what type of media I want to consume, especially before I go to sleep, because, most of the time, the last thing I watch before I go to sleep is anime. And not just like any anime, but like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like I'm watching people getting like slashed and killed. It is animated, but it's probably not the best thing for my brain to be internalizing right before I go to bed. Um, so instead of doing that, I'm trying to watch the more violent media during the day, and then in the couple hours before I go to sleep, I have been loving watching old Bob Ross painting videos and really old animated shows such as Peter Rabbit. I am loving Peter Rabbit right now. And Mr. Peter was a huge part of my childhood. I loved the books, I loved the animated series, like anything Peter Rabbit. I had Teddy's clothing, as a lot of children did. And watching that not only has been really nice for my nostalgia, but it's also just been really calming on my soul. I'll sit on this beanbag that I'm on and I'll watch it, and sometimes I'll paint because I've been painting lately, and I've purposely allowed myself to do ugly paintings. Like, for example, this is quite, it looks kind of ugly, right? But I really like it. This one's not necessarily ugly, but, there's just no constraint on those sorts of paintings, which I really enjoy. Um, but, I'll sit on this beanbag and do that, or I'll maybe journal, you know, and get my thoughts out whilst Peter Rabbit is in the background, or honestly, most of the time, I'm transfixed by him and the whole animation style, because the show is, it's almost like ASMR. It is so calming, it's so relaxing. The 2D animation style is so pleasing on the eye, and it is not complex or complicated, but it is also so impressive at the same time. There's something about old animation that is more impressive to me than modern animation. And also, I've been watching a Studio Ghibli film every night, so I've watched a new one every night, albeit I only started this tradition 2 days ago. So, the first one that I rewatched My Neighbor Totoro because it's a classic. I love that movie. I cried, as one would. And then last night I watched a new one that I've never seen that was called Arieti. Arieti. And it was so nice, and it had a really bittersweet ending that was very similar to my favourite film of all time, which is Roman Holiday, the 1953 black and white film starring the love of my life, Gregory Peck, and the other love of my life, Audrey Hepburn. The endings were very similar between them, and I found that really cool. Also, I deleted Instagram maybe a week ago, and the moment I deleted it, I felt a mental pressure just come off of my shoulders and my soul. It was getting to the point where it was weighing me down because I couldn't stop doom scrolling. And I am someone who does not have an addictive personality. I just naturally don't get addicted to things. However, Instagram humbled me. More importantly, the algorithmic For You page humbled me for real. Because it was getting to the point where I was subconsciously reaching for my phone just to open Instagram, and I'd close it, and then I would subconsciously go and open it again 5 seconds later. How embarrassing. Not only how embarrassing, but how terrifying. How terrifying that the human mind, dare I say, the most beautiful, incredible thing in this world, is being dumbed down to an algorithm of scrolling on an app. Oh, it breaks my heart, and I fell victim to that, of course. So I deleted the app, And the only social media I have now is YouTube for consuming long form content. I do not watch YouTube shorts because they are the devil, and my brother would agree. And then I've got Pinterest and Tumblr because I love Pinterest for fashion inspiration, just anime photos and such. And then obviously I love Tumblr because that's my blog. That's where I repost things that make me happy. So, yes, having social media like Pinterest and Tumblr that are more focused on your own enjoyment rather than impressing anyone else or even communicating with anyone else instead of Instagram, that is a genuine life consuming beast. That is what Instagram is. Now that I've gotten rid of it, there's more room for me to watch Studio Ghibli, Peter Rabbit, Bob Ross, who is also just my hero, my idol. And it's given me more time to just stare at the ceiling and to stare at the floor and to stare out my window and appreciate the fact that natural sounds around me are so beautiful. There is constant music going on, and by that I mean the wind, the birds, the trees, just anything. It's stunning, it's absolutely incredible. And honestly, I feel like I'm living in a Ghibli film because Studio Ghibli films utilize natural sound. A lot of the time, instead of using music, they'll just utilize the sound of wind going through the leaves and such. So now I'm listening around me and I'm like, ah, I'm just in a Ghibli film. But this whole ramble is just to say that I've really been enjoying watching calming media, relaxing childhood shows, or just, you know, just a little pocket of sweetness in this world that is full of quite a lot of spite and fear. I really like to not indulge fear because it sucks. I would rather indulge comfort and contentment. So, I hope that if anyone watches this, it maybe gives them a little push to take a break from their phone because they kind of are the problem.